Let's go.
Welcome back, everybody, to Talk Dirt to Me. I'm David Smith, videographer at the Brockville Speedway. I've had the pleasure of being a guest on this show before. Tonight, however, the tables have turned. My guests are the duo behind Talk Dirt to Me, Sandra Graham and Mike Saunders. Mike is the driver of the beautiful M16 mini stock at the Brockville, Ontario Speedway, and alongside him is the unmistakable voice and one of the driving forces behind Talk Dirt to Me, Sandra Graham.
Wow.
You're usually the ones asking the questions, but tonight you're both in the hot seat.
I'm
So
sweating
let's
already.
get ready to rumble. No, I'm just kidding. This is going to be a friendly conversation, probably. So let's just get into the questions for both of you guys.
Sure.
How it all started. First, let's go to the beginning. How did you two meet?
You can take this one.
We actually worked together. So where Mike currently works now at the Canadian Banknote, yeah, that was a whopping 9-ish years ago. So a long time, almost a decade.
And what were your first impressions of each other when you first met?
She hated me. I can assure you that she definitely hated me.
I did. I wasn't really a big fan of Mike Saunders at all. But yeah.
That's interesting. So, like, you guys got together 9.5 years ago, but at what point did racing become part of you guys? Like, when did you start doing this thing?
I took her to the track like a couple times to watch, and she actually quite liked it. Which was surprising because I didn't think it would be her thing. I've been going to the track since I can remember, and I remember like a couple times watching cars. I'm like, I think I could do this, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sure you could, but you need a car and all this stuff." And then I went and helped my neighbor Zach Lynch a few times in the pits and kind of met some of the guys, and then had some other hobbies going on. I'm like, I think I'm gonna forget all that stuff and I'm gonna try this. I've always wanted to. So I didn't expect to necessarily like do it as intense as I am now. I thought I'd kind of go out a couple times a year and that sort of thing, but it's really hard once you get out there to not go full force into it.
Mm-hmm.
So, diving a little bit more into like the two of you guys, question for each of you individually. It's the same question though. What's something about the other person that listeners might be surprised to learn about the other? So, for Sandra about Mike, and Mike about Sandra.
You want to go first?
Well, like I said, she actually wasn't a really big like she liked racing, but I could never see her like going unless she was like going with me sort of thing. And now I find it funny. I'll come home and she'll be like, "Did you see Mike Mahaney won 2 in a row?" And I'm like, "I haven't seen any of this." She seems to follow, especially like the Super Dirt Car Series, even closer than I do now, which is like it surprises me actually.
Yeah, for sure. Something about Mike that people might be surprised at. That's a good question.
Not a very surprising person.
Yeah, like he will like hyper focus on things. I don't know if anyone's really realized that, especially with racing. Like he said, like there was a lot of hobbies kind of kicking around here before like the cars started to arrive here. However, the last 3 years he's really dove into racing. Like you said, he's always been a racing fan. But now it's more of the main focus around here. And he's got a lot of patience. I think people do know that, but the people that have known him for a very long time, I think, would be surprised at how he is these days.
So, leaning a little bit more into the podcast itself, what quality does the other person have that makes the podcast work for you guys? So, again, about each other.
Patience, for sure. Mike has a lot of patience when it comes to me and the guests and the schedules and the videos and the editing. So I will definitely say, yeah, he brings a lot of patience to this podcast.
Yeah, well, driving the car is more my thing than doing this sort of stuff. But I like Sandra is like she does everything for this. I I basically just come home from work and this is all set up. And she's like, Travis is on. Can you talk to him for a little bit? And we'll talk to him, do the interview. I'll basically just like wait till make sure she doesn't say some technically wrong stuff and just keep everything on track a little bit. Besides that, she does everything. I don't even know the questions before. I'm as surprised as the guest is. I don't know what she's going to ask. I haven't done none of the prep, nothing. I just show up and like I said, I'm as in the dark as they are.
Do you remember the first conversation you guys had where the Talk Dirt to Me podcast came up?
Yeah. We were I was at the gym on the treadmill and I was watching racing and then I was in group chats and there was at the time there was a bunch of mini stock drama going on. I'm like, man, like you could make a reality show or like a podcast about this. And I was like, you know what? I'm like, we should start our own podcast just about the mini stock guys at Brockville, like just as a joke. And then of course she took it to the next level and ordered stuff.
So we could say you were the first one to bring up the idea then, Mike.
Yeah, but I didn't like actually like think it would happen. I just said it more as like a joke just because of how much was going on at the time. I was like I said, like you can make a show about this class or like that. I just made the joke of like, we should just start our own podcast, like joking about.
So how did you go from that idea into the actual doing of a show?
That's Sandra just like, taking everything to the next level.
Yeah. Like I find I'm that person, like you can't give me a little idea and expect me to half-ass anything. Like give me an idea and I will go like above and beyond what we would even think it was. Like it was right before Black Friday. He talked about it every night. Like we listen to a podcast going to bed. Like podcasts are very much so like, especially with him, he listens to a lot. So yeah, he kind of just said like, man, like, yeah, like this could be like a reality show or a podcast. Then it was Black Friday. Then it was like, well, wait a second. These microphones are on like a Black Friday sale. And he's like, well, let's just like order them. We'll do an episode, just you and I, like sitting on the couch chit-chatting. And that was our very first episode. Like it went so well that we were like, let's just post this and kind of see what happens. And the feedback was like crazy after the first episode. So we're like, well, I think we're going to do this. Why not?
Cool too. Cause like at first, like me and her just did that. I didn't think it was ever getting posted. And then like my cousin came on who I'm like obviously super comfortable with. And like Jamie and Jared, like two of my really close friends and drivers out there. And then like we started getting people on like you, like really cool, like people that I don't get the chance to talk to too much. Tim and Jim, which I like, Spencer, all those episodes I really like. Felix Waugh, Gavin McFarland, 358 drivers. Like it went a little more than I expected. And like just for as far as even guests go, and I don't know if it's people seem to like it. And even at autograph night, there was like some fans from the track that came down and told Sandra how much they like listening to it and stuff. And like I said, like we just do this for fun. So like as long as everyone's likes listening to it or until people stop listening to it, we'll just keep getting people on, talking to them and that sort of thing.
So what was the biggest challenge like getting your first episode up there? Did you have technical troubles? Figuring out the first one is always interesting.
Yeah.
How did that go?
Yeah, it was hard too because it's like you're trying to figure out because there's Apple and then there's Spotify, but then it's actually all owned by Spotify. So everything goes into Spotify and then it kind of trickles down to Apple. So it was trying to figure out, it took me a while. Like I remember like we were sitting down in the basement by the fire and had my laptop trying to figure out what I need to subscribe to and how to upload things. And so now it's okay. But at first it was a lot of like the little technical things of, yeah, like creating accounts, even online, like what program do I use online? And everyone kind of tells you something different, but then it was like what works for us. And it took a little while, but however, I went from like taking like hours to edit an episode down to like, I can usually get it up the same night. So it's getting better.
So you got your processes down pretty good there.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Was there a particular moment when you guys realized, people were genuinely becoming invested in the podcast? You had listeners, you had people talking to you. Was there a moment where you guys realized, hey, this is working?
I have one. The Jamie LaRock episode.
Yeah.
Because I got a boatload of messages. Like we were talking about some rule changes and some controversial stuff. So my phone started blowing up like, oh, like I can't believe like you guys think this or don't want this or like, and then I was like, oh, people are listening because like good or bad. And like, they weren't like upset or anything with either of us. It was just funny that like all the opinions start flowing in my inbox about stuff like that. So then I was like, oh, like this guy listened, or like, oh, like this guy from Cornwall listened, or like, I don't know. That's when I started to notice that like it's not just her and I listening to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
definitely.
so any feedback that has meant a lot to you guys that you've received keeps it going?
I think just like in general, like we post everything on like the Mike Saunders Racing page on Facebook. And like you can't count those likes, right? Because like some episodes might have 5 likes, some might have like 35. But when I go into like Apple and Spotify to actually see the analytics, there's hundreds. So I think that always kind of surprises me. Like when we were down in Florida, we actually posted a video saying like, "Hey, we haven't really heard much. Like, are people listening? Like, is there feedback?" So that kind of drew some things out. But then I think like Mike,
Interesting.
yeah, like when Mike said this autograph night, like people actually came down and were like, "Hey, like I really like your podcast. Like, keep going." Or Cornwall on Sunday night, there was a driver from Mohawk. Is that where he was from?
Kyle Whalen, I think.
Yeah, like he came over and he was like, "Hey, like I've told Mike before, but like keep doing what you're doing." And I was like, "Wow, like other drivers from other tracks are listening." So it's kind of cool.
It's helped out too, like Jonathan Lacoste from Granby. He posted a lot in the like Granby mini stock or sport compact group. So like when he shares it, then like I think like I don't know how many of those guys speak English, but there's definitely some people from other tracks listen to it anyhow.
Mhm.
So how do you guys decide who you want to interview? I'm going to pull behind the scenes a little bit here about how this podcast works.
Whoever's available.
Yeah, like at the beginning, like it was almost overwhelming. Like we had so many people reach out and say like, "Hey, like when you've got a spot, we'll jump on." So there was one week, I think we had 3 podcasts because at that time I didn't want to say no either and I didn't want to push them, right? So I was like, "Let's just bring everybody in and we'll keep going." So that was a lot. Now what I do is I kind of reach out over the weekend and kind of see who's available. So I'm trying to go through like all of the Brockville guys, and now like I'm focusing on Cornwall. And there's been a couple people that I asked at the beginning that was like they would say like, "No, not yet. Like give me a couple races." So or like we've poked a couple times and they've said no.
There's a couple guys still waiting for something to come on, but
Yeah, we do have our list of like we keep asking every once in a while. So but yeah, everybody that's been on has been actually like so fun to get to know. I think that's my favorite part is getting to know everyone behind the scenes.
Yeah, it really is about the community at large, right? So I felt that myself when I joined, when I was interviewed by you guys, and it was really fantastic. Quite the experience, and got to know other people. Other people were messaging me. It was really quite the experience. I'm curious about the responsibilities you guys have divided about putting up a podcast like this. Like, does one of you have a detailed plan and executes it? Does one of you take the lead? How does that go?
I told her like, let me worry about the car and anything else you can do, but I'll help you if you need it. But I'm not a computer guy. I'm pretty like handy on like CapCut and stuff, but I'm not as far as like editing or like it's like if she quit tomorrow, like I wouldn't even know how to I wouldn't know how to post a podcast. I have no idea how to do it. She does like all of it.
Yeah. So there's our divide. He drives the car and fixes the car, and I clean the car and wash the car and do the podcast.
So during the podcast, which one of you is more likely to throw out a question that you didn't discuss beforehand? You're just like, "Oh my, why'd you ask that?" Did either of you likely to do that?
Mike, he'll go rogue.
Yeah, like I said, I come in with no plan, so I have like a couple questions I like kind of think of before, depending on who it is, and then I told her like at first, like I like to kind of just like have a couple questions to start and then just let it go like we're having a conversation. Like if you, I don't know if you ever listen to like Joe Rogan or any of that stuff, but he's not like reading a list of questions. They're just in there like talking, and that's what I like to hear is when people are like, and it's funny sometimes like the podcast will end and we don't hang up. We just like say our goodbyes or whatever, and then we'll have like a 45-minute conversation that is like that. I'm like, man, we should have recorded that. Like that was almost better than the podcast, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you guys listen back to your own podcast?
Yeah,
I don't really.
I do. Like, well, when I'm editing it, for sure. And then usually the next morning on the way to work, if I posted it that night, I'll throw it on just to make sure it worked more or less. Like, and then I can quickly like take it down if need be. But
Yeah, I should actually like fix what I said. I don't listen to it like the next day or right after we did it, but I like to go back and listen to like old conversations or like I know like when Stéphane Lafrance passed away, Brandon McMillan was on here talking about it, so I went back and listened to that episode. Or we were talking about the other night we were talking about a rule that we questioned, so I went back and listened to the Spencer episode to see if I knew he said something about black flags and how it works. So I was like, I go back and like I like to listen to like revisit or like I'll listen to your episode. I like just like or guys that I don't talk to too often or just things I remember that people said. I like to go back and see them, but like I'm talking like months later.
I suppose you guys might be your own harshest critics, perhaps.
yeah, like there's been times where I'm like, oh, like I butchered that. But like the average listener might not pick up on that. Like I will, or Mike definitely will. But like you say, like you are your biggest critic. Mike
So
sometimes mine.
behind the scenes when you guys are doing a lot of this work, can you give a little bit of insight to the listeners about like things they don't see that goes into the podcast?
Yeah. Like, well, not on my end, but for her, like there's and like not just the podcast, but like the extra stuff that Sandra does. Like I'm sure if anyone's listening to this podcast, they've seen the pit interviews, her going around and ask like the drivers, and like there's a lot of things that like just seeing that you wouldn't think of that like takes some time. Like I remember that the longest one was the what would your walkout song be? And then everyone answered what the song would be, and then I was going back through your videos finding clips of each driver, screen recording the song on YouTube, putting them together and making like a little like, because we didn't want to just have the song and then skip to the next guy. We wanted to play like a little snippet of it with their car that we thought was kind of cool. But she was doing the video editing. I was trying to get clips and do like that took us
wow.
like, I think that was
That was
like
all
a
day
Sunday. We
Sunday.
did like, yeah.
It was a 6-hour edit.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And I've told myself I will never do that again.
Turned out cool.
That's exactly the kind of thing I was talking about. Yeah, doing the videography stuff, I totally feel that there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that the viewers don't really realize that goes into it. Mm-hmm. Have you guys ever been nervous interviewing a guest?
Yeah.
Yes.
Big time.
Yeah.
Like, it's gotten a little better, and like at least like we reassure them and stuff. Like we can cut anything, edit anything. If you don't like it, we can just delete the whole thing, like whatever you want, you know? Mm-hmm. But there's especially guys that I don't like speak to on a regular basis, like Brad Whiteside, who has the Build a Kingdom YouTube channel. Like he's on YouTube talking to people all the time. And like, he's a really good talker. Like someone like Felix, you know, who's like a professional race car driver. Not that we aren't, but you know, but like a high level race car driver, like stuff like that, that I'm like, man, if we sound stupid to this guy, like it's just gonna like train wreck everything.
Yeah. Yeah. There are times where I think I was most nervous for probably like you, Spencer, Tim, and Jim, just because it's something more like outside our wheelhouse of conversations. So I remember like before having you on and like researching you or Tim or whoever, and I was like, I really hope this goes okay. Like, because it's like, you know, you're not asking them like, hey, how's turning left? Like you're asking so much more. Like, yeah, there are times we're getting nervous.
Got some good questions here submitted by Martinez. You guys probably know who that is. So it leads in pretty good with the conversation we were just having. You've interviewed a lot of people. Which guest surprised you the most and why?
One recently is Christopher Prue. Especially before this season, we really didn't know Chris and that whole kind of group at Cornwall. And then getting to know Chris kind of like before the podcast coming on and then having him on here, he was so professional and well-spoken. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know how this is going to go. And then afterwards, it's just like, wow, like that was really cool and so neat to talk to these guys that we wouldn't necessarily talk to. We talk to them a lot more now. But yeah, he was probably the most recent one to surprise me. Actually,
I'm not just saying this because you're on here. I was actually surprised with yours, to be honest. I guess I listened back to that like a while after, and I was like, geez, because I talked to you at the track here and there, but when I listened back, I was like, wow, like Dave sounds like the professional, and we sound like the like one that doesn't talk. I don't know, like I listened to yours back, and everything you said, I was like I even picked up on stuff listening back to it, and I thought I actually really enjoyed that because like I didn't know how much like outside of like the videoing we were going to get to talk about, but I quite liked the episode. You had a lot of insight into like the track that like we don't get to see, you know, from the pits. So it was I really like
Yeah,
that.
I'm mostly a fan myself, and that's kind of how I got involved in the first place. And it sounds like you guys as well, you know, just fans of racing and just the community at large.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a guest that completely changed the direction of the conversation without you realizing it, or without intention? It just kind of went off the other direction.
You want to take this one? Because I know the answer, but
Yeah, we definitely have some that like I couldn't quite figure out where they were going with stuff, and I'm trying to like it's almost like they were like fishing for like to go maybe like a little bit down the negative route, and I was like, I don't really get what they're trying to get at here, but without saying particularly who it is or whatever, but there's definitely been some or like where I just maybe misunderstood what they were trying to say or lead to something that I wasn't quite following. But for most of the time, it's pretty good. Like, it's pretty like the questions aren't. We try to avoid any like I do my best to avoid a conflict at the track all the time because I don't want something else that's going on in the pits or outside of the track finding its way to the track and people's equipment getting torn up or points getting ruined or something like that. So I try my best to keep it and on everyone's good side and not take one side over the other. So yeah, I try to just avoid those topics altogether.
Are there any guests that you wish you could get on this podcast? If you had a dream list
100%.
and the very top of that list, who would be on it?
go ahead.
You can say yours.
I would put Mandy Pouch Mahaney on here personally.
That's
I
a
think,
good one.
Yeah, I think she would be good just because she has it on like the US end of it. So I think having her insight especially as like it's still new to us. She does have a lot of knowledge and she posts so much and she edits so much. That would probably be my top one for sure.
What about you, Mike? You got one?
I'm sure everyone knows this, but I've been trying to get the captain on here since like, I don't know, the beginning of this. Pierre Picard, I'd love to have him on here. Ideally, like in a perfect world, him and Bob Ray at the same time would be awesome. Those two together, like is when I was talking about making like a TV show, those two would be the funniest characters you've ever seen together. They're like an old married couple, but like it's like they're arguing and like mad at each other, but they're not at all. They're actually getting along. But when you see it from like a third person, it's awesome. But Pierre knows so much. There's a bunch of guys, but Pierre knows so much and he helps so many people and like people are always going to him and asking him stuff. I know he's like a little shy about it, but we're going to get him on here. I know I can break him eventually. He said he would, he said just not yet.
So turning a little bit more, talk about working together, the two of you. So between the podcast, racing, family life, how much time would you guys say you talk about racing?
You're going to get me in trouble here, David.
Oh, no, I'm fully aware.
I talk about it way too much. But it's hard not to, like, because it's not just the racing. It's also like the people involved in racing and like, oh, I'm talking to this guy. I'm going to see him tomorrow. He's helping me with the car or whatever. Like it just always circles back to racing, it seems to.
Do you ever get to switch it off?
Like,
or is it you're always thinking about something about racing?
It is. I think it depends too. Like right now I'm struggling with the car a little bit. So it's like, I'm always trying to figure out why. So I'm like, the car is good, but it's off a little bit. And I'm just working with like my boys that help me figuring out, like Richard LeBlanc. He's been a lifesaver. Couple guys like that, just trying to get it to where I know it can be, and then I can focus more on driving more so than the car. But like I said, it's hard. If everything was going smoothly and like everything was perfect, maybe you could think about some other things. But I just like I can't. I have a hard time shutting it off when I know there's something that can be that's not 100% right.
At least you admit it.
Yeah. Well, like she like says like, oh, can we talk about something else in racing? But like when I come home, she's like, did you see this? Did you see that? Did you see who won this? It's like, okay, like you almost initiate it, then blame me.
Well,
This is a great follow-up question for you guys. Which one of you is more competitive?
I
I love the look there.
well, I have a bah. It'd be hard for her to top me at that, like because it's not just racing. I don't like losing at anything.
mm-hmm.
I got a competitive question for you. Who handles stress better?
Ooh, I think it depends what kind of stress. Like,
Yeah, like anything outside of
Mhm.
like this, I think I handle it. Like
Mhm.
I actually don't, believe it or not, I don't get stressed out of it too much, except for the car.
yeah, like I think we're almost opposites. Like, take like anything to do with racing, Mike gets stressed, and I'm can be like the calm one and like try and chit chat about other things. Anything else in life, I'm like high anxiety, stress, overthink, whatever. And he's like so calm, and I'm like, can you meet me at like the level I'm at? And he's just like the calm.
So, doing this podcast together in the racing, have you learned something about each other in this journey?
Yeah, like I'm really like impressed with. I don't want to talk her up too much, but really impressed with what she's done. And like for somebody that's fairly new to racing, the big scheme of things, she definitely dove in head first, and like it makes it easy for me. Like I know some guys' girlfriends like don't want them going. I shouldn't say don't want them going to the track, but they're like it's too much time. We're not getting time for this. If you want to put money into the race car, we should be doing that. Whereas she just kind of like fill your boots and go as hard as you want. Thank God. So,
Mhm.
yeah, we've I think racing may have actually brought us together a little bit. Maybe I see a side of her that I used to think was like I don't know.
Careful.
I don't know how to word this without getting myself in trouble here. But
Yeah, it has. I think it's taught us a lot about each other for sure. It's kind of taught, like I said, like the patience and the stress levels and just being there for each other. Like on his really hard nights, I know him well enough to know like let's just stay quiet and he needs a minute. Or like if something's bugging me, like I don't know. It does bring out different sides of us for sure. And yeah, like it's nonstop right now. So like between the racing and the podcast and the pit interviews, it's a lot that we do together. So yeah, it's definitely brought us closer, and we're still sitting beside each other. So it's going good.
That's fantastic. All right, Mike, I'm going to put you in the hot seat now. And these questions are mostly directed towards you at the moment.
okay,
So let's think about young Mike Saunders. What was he like? And when did you get interested in racing?
how young we talking? And when I was
However you'd like to go. I mean,
when
let's
I
talk
was
about Mike before you stepped into the race car.
try to like sum this up as quickly as I can, but like I think it started. I was like weird when I was in grade 3. I was obsessed with the show Dukes of Hazzard, like not the movie, but like the show. And I think I first started watching it because of like the dog, like Flash or whatever Roscoe's dog is. I like dogs, and then I slowly fell in love with the car, and then like started like watching racing. And my dad took me to a capital city when I was like but even before grade 3, like I was real young, and I just like every Wednesday night, no matter what, that's where we were going, and it was cool back then. Like I don't know if it's because there wasn't as many drivers or whatever, but I knew like every driver, every class. They gave you like a printout piece of paper with all the points, so it was almost like back then's version of my race pass, so you could follow who was doing what, and it was I don't know, it was really cool. Like Capital City had some cool things too. Like they bring a car out with like a passenger seat in it. And I remember doing like a couple laps in the passenger seat of like a late model, or sorry, back then they were called cash cars. And I don't know, like I just fell in love. And then when it closed, it was a little rough because Brockville's a little far from us. And like the first time I went to a dirt track, I took me a bit to like it like I do now. It was dusty. I got like pelted with. I couldn't figure out why everyone was sitting up so high. I'm like, look at all these good seats down here, and then I found out quick why they were sitting up so high. But
Yeah, you do find out really quick if you sit down low.
yeah,
You end up wearing it a little
yeah,
bit.
exactly. And then like when I was like got my license and started driving, it was always like I'm like I think I could do this with like some of the fast guys, and then it just I don't know. As soon as I got like the opportunity and I found a car and decided to, if I don't do it now, I'll never do it. You know.
So did somebody help you get into racing, or is this a self-start thing? How did that begin?
Like, well, like I definitely like my cousin had a car before me and Zach Lynch, and I was crewing, like pitting, whatever you want to call it, like helping those guys out. And then like I was like, man, like my friends are doing it now. I'm like, I have too much other stuff going on. And then, like I said, I just eventually said, like, if I'm 30, whatever I was, 34 years old. If I don't do this now, I'm never going to do it. Then I'm always going to wonder if I could do it. And so I was just like, whatever, I'll pull the trigger and do it. And then it just like kind of snowballed a little out of control, but it's
Did you realize how much work it would be to run a
no,
race car before you started?
I didn't even realize it my first year. Like every year it seems to just get like the like I was watching videos from like a couple of years ago, and like don't get me wrong, there's some guys out there that aren't racing now that I think would come back and probably smoke all of us, but like just the caliber of everyone is like the cars and everything is just like it seems to be going up so fast that you can't not try, like you know what I mean? Like if you don't put in tons of work and hours and figuring out and talking to people who know what they're doing, like you don't have a chance.
So what was the reaction from your family or friends when you told them you were going to get into a race car?
Uh, like my dad loves racing, but my dad was also like thinks it's or thought like it's expensive. It's gonna be like it was more the money part of it, and then I think now he's realized it's even worse than he thought. But it's like I said that everyone's really like my friends aren't so much into racing. And I actually try not to talk about it too much around them because I don't want them to be like, man, this guy in his race car doesn't shut up, But I have my group of friends that I know like are into it and they're always asking me about it. And then my group of friends that I just try not to talk about it around. But like I still don't think like even any of them I still get the comments of like, what do you mean you're gonna miss this for a race? Like is this NASCAR or something? I'm like, you don't get it, like at all. But yeah, it's hard to explain to people that aren't around it or that have only been to maybe one or no races.
I got a few questions from Jim Bordon, actually.
Oh,
Oh.
cool.
So, yeah. So, what was your first race actually like?
Terrifying. Like I remember saying to my dad, I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like coming down the first straightaway, when I get to that corner, I have no idea what it's gonna do. I've never driven one of these. I've done enduros, but like I'm gonna turn left. Is the car gonna go? Is it gonna go straight? I know some people probably won't understand this if you don't know like much about how the mini stocks work, but I bought a car without a welded differential, so the tires spin by themselves. I just found four tires. I didn't know what size. Like I didn't do any stagger. I didn't do anything. Just four tires to fit in the car, threw them on, and I thought like that's all you had to do. I remember going into the first corner of the heat and I elected to start at the back and I saw the other cars go around the corner and I was like, how is that possible? Because like I know I'm not that bad at driving, but I'm like I thought you could outdrive a bad setup, but you can't. It doesn't matter who you are.
Good follow up right to that statement. Jim wanted to know what it's like driving the new car compared to the old car.
I had like a weird, like almost like crush on that car before I got it. When I said I went to the track to help Zach and my cousin, that car was there. Brandon had it there. And I remember like, I looked inside of it. I always say this, but I looked inside the car and I was like, wow, that's a race car. Like you can tell that this is not just some thrown together thing. And it's a lot different. Like there's things I like about both. Like the Cobalt parts to get them is so easy. Like you can go to Auto Shack and get everything you need for that car. Whereas the Prelude, you need to like know someone who knows someone who found it on Marketplace, who ship it from here. And like some of the like parts are really, really hard to get. But that car, the Prelude is like one of a kind, I think. There's been so many people that, and like I'm not talking about me, but like Adam Turner jumps in at once and wins that big super dirt night, or like, like
You can't judge by Adam Turner though. He's driving
I know you could probably
True.
put him on a pedal bike and he'd do it, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I think like even if the car was slow, I'd still like it. It's just because of what it is, and I don't know, it means a lot to me. I like that car.
Do you have any superstitions when you race?
I used to have a lot, and it's they're slowly going away. I'm getting a little more comfortable. I used to have like weird things about like I have to wear this bracelet or I put this glove on first because I saw it on like a Kyle Larson do it or something. But now I've kind of just gotten calm in my own thing, and nothing really matters. However, Chris said this too, but Carl's daughter Maylee made me like a little bracelet with my name and number on it. So I've been keeping that in my pocket since she gave it to me. So that try to remember that every night.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So Colin Chisholmore had a couple of questions for you as well. When did it hit you that you were a genuine contender in the battle for the 2025 championship?
The night I won my first feature, because going into that race, I was 6th in points. I'm like, I'm going to do worse than I did last year. I'm like, this is going terribly. And then I took the car to Brandon's house. Brandon kind of like set it up a little more for my driving than his driving. And then I went out and won the next race. And I remember I did my little interview thing, and I was still in shock because I was never expecting to win. I honestly thought like I ain't winning a feature at Brockville ever. I can't do it. Then I won, walked around the front of the car, and I could hear Tim talking, just killing time. He's like, that unofficially puts Mike Saunders into 2nd place. I was like, 2nd? I was in 6th. I like jumped up like 5 spots tonight. So after that night, I was like, okay, I can still do this. So it was fun battling right down to the end. But yeah, it was a good season.
Did you feel any pressure when that came up, hearing 2nd place? Did that affect you away from the track as well? Did it get your mind moving?
For sure. Everywhere I went, it's all I could think about. And I've actually felt pressure from the moment I bought that car. Just like that aside, every night I go out, I'm like, if I suck tonight, people are going to know I suck because the car is good, So like everyone else has done good with it. If I don't do good with it, they're going to know it's me. So like ever since like I got that car, I was like, I have the Cobalt didn't matter. No one's seen it before. No one knew anything about it. I didn't know anything about it. It's like, well, I could at least like fake it that it's the car, but it's hard to fake it with that car.
So after a race night, how quickly do you begin preparing for the next week? Like you brought it home. What are you doing?
It depends how the night before went, or if we have like a week off or not. I try to like almost like I'll get it out of the trailer, but I try to almost give it like at least like Sunday, like don't even look at it, and then kind of devise a plan of what I need to do that week. And if nothing's broken or bent and I just have to go over, do the typical stuff, just like a couple days before maybe. But then there's weeks where I have to take days off work and I'm working or like on the car 5 days before the race, kind of depends.
Are you doing that solo? Does Sandra help you out, or do you have any other help?
She helps me out by taking care of everything else that has to be done around my house and has to be done. But no, I definitely need a lot of help. I'm not a mechanic. I bring it to shout out to Herb's Towing in Cornwall. I bring it there quite a bit. And Pierre, that's where he works. And he's helped me so much. I've taken the car to Hawkesbury a couple of times. Rich LeBlanc from Rich Welding. He's helped me out a bunch. There's tons of I got buddies that'll come with me for the drive or like that'll help me load or unload. And like I've been really lucky this year with the help that I've like people that have kind of jumped on to help me. By Colton Kavanaugh, he comes to the track with me every week now, and he's like does everything. Like my tires, like, I don't have to worry about nothing when he's there. And it which is kind of weird because I like doing that stuff, but it when someone else is there to at least second, check it and I'm not freaking out about it, it's really handy to have.
So a little bit about like what you do for a career or day job, and how difficult is it to balance work, family, podcast, racing, all of that?
It's I work at the Canadian Bank notice, so I do 12-hour shifts. So now I'm back on day shift, which was better. But for a majority of like this season and last season, I was on night shift, which makes it a little difficult because even my days off, I'm like a zombie, or when I'm supposed to be sleeping, I can't sleep. So like I said, Sandra really takes care of a lot of stuff when I was all messed up. Or now I work 12s, but I work 2 weekends a month. So I have to leave work early on Saturday. So I got to make sure everything's done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's a little, so it's nice because sometimes I'll have 7 days off in a row and some days I work 7 in a row. So it's just kind of when the race lands is when it's how that week's gonna go. So it's a blessing and a curse, I guess.
So when you're not racing and you're not working, what does Mike like to do? You can both answer
As
this
I
one if you
used
like.
to do. I don't know this year, but I like actually like outdoor stuff, camping, boating, uh snowmobiling in the winter. I do a lot of that. But seems like this year we've been actually like going and watching a lot of race. We're going to Brewerton Friday, Fulton Saturday, hopefully Cornwall Sunday. Um, seems like now that we both have the common interest, it seems to be something we both like to do.
So if you guys are heading out on a road trip, who controls the music?
Mike, 100%.
I'm a bit of a music snob. I shouldn't say
Mhm.
snob, but just a lot of songs like piss me off more. I'd rather listen to no music than listen to that. So
Yeah. He's the music guy.
Yeah.
What kind of music do you like?
I like a lot of stuff. I also hate a lot of stuff is the problem. But like I like country's my favorite one, but like not the radio country, like real country. I don't like I like old stuff. I like Johnny Cash and stuff like that. I can't
Who doesn't like Johnny Cash though?
Yeah, I hear you.
Mhm.
But it's not that I'm like impatient or anything when I'm driving, but like just sometimes if like there's some like real bad music on, I'm like, can we just like turn this off?
He really
Please?
likes Shabuzi.
Oh yeah.
So speaking of traveling, I heard you guys went to Volusia. How'd that go?
You don't take that?
Well, yeah, like he surprised me for my birthday. So yeah, we went down to Florida, to Volusia. So it was funny because I just like for my birthday, I was like, let's not talk about racing. Let's just have the day. I want one day out of an entire year that has nothing to do with racing. And that's when he made me the video of all of the mini stock guys wishing me a happy birthday. And then he had Felix jump on and Felix said happy birthday. And then in Felix's little part, he says, like, we'll see you in Volusia. I thought Felix was being Felix and just being like, yeah, like see you at the track kind of thing, right? And then afterwards, Mike's like, did you understand that? And I was like, well, I don't know. And we're going to Volusia. So I was like, oh, so not only did every mini stock guy wish me happy birthday, now we're going to go and like take a trip that's all about racing. However, it was a Super Dirt Car series, so I really enjoyed it. It was an awesome, awesome trip. I know it's like Mike's number one trip that he would do all over again. So
She
So
took
seeing
me
it,
she took me to
sorry, go ahead,
oh, I
Mike.
was gonna say she took me to Cuba the year before and that was not my thing at all. And I was like, I'm planning the next one. So
yeah.
I think she liked it.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's just nice to go down and see kind of how the States runs their racetrack because like as cool as it is up here, I find racing down there is like on another level. So and it's nice too because down there you have all day and then it's the same like racing's at nighttime. So you kind of like do whatever adventures during the day and then we would go and have supper and then spend the evenings at the track and walk through the pits and see everybody. So it was a great trip.
I think
Do you ever want to race there someday, Mike, at Volusia?
I don't know if they have 4 cylinders at mini, but there's definitely some tracks. Like I've only raced in the States once, and it was one of my favorite nights. So I know I keep saying this, but if we ever get that Accord up and running, that is the plan for that car is to basically be just like a Mohawk Can-Am. I guess if Granby ever has those invitational things, but one of the big tracks down there. I don't know. I really like it. I find like I know people think that like they always say like, oh, like when you come up to Canada, like everyone's so polite and whatever. I found down there was like complete like 10 times I shouldn't say better, but like every night we went to the track and sat down, the person next to you turned like, where are you guys from? And like they like every night was just like everyone was so friendly. It's almost like you're a race fan, doesn't matter where you're from, like we're friends, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not saying it's not like that here. I just mean that they were like very friendly.
Yeah.
So you went down to Volusia, had a great time, saw a particular driver. Can you tell me about the tattoo?
Yeah. One of my sponsors last year was Northern Tattoo Company. One of my friends, Jesse James, he's a phenomenal like realism tattoo guy. And I was like, I want to get a picture. I'd like to get like a racing um, tattoo. I'm like, but I don't want it to just be like a generic car. And like, I don't really want to get my car. I don't know. Like, that's weird getting your own car tattooed on you. So I started like thinking about who I liked, and I was like, how like before I even really knew who Felix was, I really like the look of his car, like the yellow and the black, and like it almost looked like a little old school to me, but like not too much. I don't know. I've always liked the look of his car, and then I started watching, like, man, this guy's good. And then like young kid, like coming up from like he's Canadian. And I was like, so I messaged Felix, and I didn't think I'd get one. Like, if you have like, I'm thinking about getting a tattoo of a race car. I'm like, if you have like some real good, clear pictures of your car, would you mind like sending them to me? And I'd never talked to him. I didn't think I'd ever get a message back. And he sent me like 30 pictures. And he's like, that's so cool or whatever. And then I think everyone, probably Jesse too, is surprised how it turned out. It actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So Jamie wants to know if you're going to bring race day snacks for everybody for the rest of the season.
That's that falls under her category.
Yeah, between Martina and I, we definitely have, I think, the best snacks for sure. There's always fresh baked cookies, and our bags are always packed with all of the goodies. And I am a snack.
So I was kind of puzzled by this question that was sent in, but maybe you guys can tell a little bit about the inside joke behind it. But why do you hate Jimmy the Rock?
I don't hate Jimmy the Rock. He's he's my teammate. He's like one of the closest guys at the track with me. And the nice thing about him is like from the first time I met him, he was kind of like friendly, chirpy, which is like right up my alley. Some people I think when I meet them like don't know that I'm joking because I've said things to people and they kind of like, I'm kidding, by the way, but Jamie, I gave him like an extra hard time. Like, I think some people probably listen to us talking. They're like, Jesus Christ, these guys hate each other, but we both know we're kidding. So
yeah, the follow-up question was, why is Jimmy the Rock actually your favorite driver?
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
Yeah,
yeah.
So Jamie's good. Like I said, we get along well, and like I said, we both said some pretty harsh things to each other, but we both know we're just kidding, and we almost makes the other one crank it up a little more,
on the Jamie and Martine, I need to do a massive shout out to those two because I personally would be lost without Martine. She is my rock through all of this. She's taught me so much. She has seen me cry. She has seen me yell. She has seen every emotion possible. So a huge shout out to those two because they are the best teammates we could have ever asked for. So thank you.
Jamie's a great guy, and I really like Jamie. He's a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
His helmet's getting a little tight, so don't pump him up too much.
That's true. His helmet might be getting a little tight here because his other question was, if you're to trade race cars with any other driver for the night, who would it be and why? And I think he was leaning in a little bit there, but
I would try Jamie's car if no one else was on the track. So Jamie used to keep his car at my house, and like I'd have to move it around every once in a while, and like I can't see out the door. Like, not that you look to your side, but like the doors are like here. Like I can't see out of anything. Like you'd swear he's 7 feet tall if you sat in his car. Like I can barely reach anything, barely see over the dash. It's like I'm sure if you like anything, if you get used to it, it'd be good. And like the car is obviously a rocket, but it's hard to drive it. Like even like the way just the pedals are and everything. It's but like I said, it's obviously like probably the top car out there. It's fast, but I also wouldn't want to embarrass myself too much. But I don't know. There's I'd have to give like a top three. That would probably be like Jamie, Pierre Picard's, and Chris Prue's car would probably be the three I'd like to try.
I think it's Sandra's turn.
Oh, like
switch over to Sandra.
Who
We're going to put you in the hot seat.
Like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you can answer that question.
I was going to say, like, who do I want to see? I don't know.
No.
Honestly, like to take that question, I would love to see Mike in a rear wheel drive. Personally.
Yeah, me too. I'd like that.
Mm-hmm. I think he would do really well. But anyway.
So Sandra, about young Sandra, what was life like for you before race cars?
Um, I grew up in the country, so it was a lot of time. Like my dad was a big fisherman, so it was a lot of weekends in the boat, fishing. A pile of time spent with family, huge snowmobile family. So yeah, we always were out snowmobiling, golfing. Yeah, it was just kind of like country life.
Do you ever imagine you would end up in the dirt racing community?
No, absolutely not. But now that I'm in it, I truthfully can say I don't know what else we would be doing.
So about present day Sandra, what do you do for a career, your day job? What keeps you busy?
Yeah, I work at Kavanaugh Construction. So I work in the construction field in the safety industry. So I'm outside every day. So it's great in the summertime and it's really cold in the wintertime. Um, but yeah, it's good. I've learned a lot for sure. I think the guys are kind of sick of hearing some things at the track because I now put my safety hat on all the time and make sure everybody's being safe and look after them all. But yeah, that's what I spend my time doing.
So how do you support Mike when he's doing the racing?
By being patient and by listening.
I should have asked him this question really, but he
Yeah,
kind of answered it earlier too,
yeah.
saying that yeah,
It's yeah. I kind of just let him
like
do.
what's your job during race day? What are you doing then?
So it's I don't know. There's a lot. There's like when we get up in the morning, it's a matter of like going to the grocery store and getting all of the food and packing the coolers and taking his race gear bag.
For the record, I don't eat. So
No, I eat. I want all of the snacks. So I go and get snacks for myself and all of our crew members. But yeah, it's
And
making
Jamie
and
apparently as well.
Jamie,
yeah.
yeah, for sure. And then yeah, it's going through his bag, making sure his fire suit, all his safety gear's in there and washed and cleaned and loading up the trailer with him. So then usually we kind of like meet at some point. We're like, okay, like everything's packed now. What's coming out of the garage? So now it's he's bringing things out of the garage and we're putting things in the trailer. And then yeah, once we get to the track, I take care of like making sure the car looks good. So I always want the car to look perfect before it comes out of the trailer. And then once it's out of the trailer, it gets one more big wipe down and then yeah, it's organizing everything. So the food comes out and the fire suit comes out and the helmets come out. And then usually I kind of take off for a bit and I do all of my videos in the pits now. I usually check in with Cheryl and see how things are going there and yeah, making sure and then tucking him into the car and making sure he's all buckled in. And
So once he's buckled in, he's ready to go out to the racetrack. How are you feeling?
it depends. And it's really weird. I don't know. I really don't know how to explain. There's some nights where I'm super calm. He drives away and I'm like, he's got this. He's good. And I sit in the stands and I'm fine. And then there's nights where I look at Martine and I'm like, there is something in my stomach tonight that's telling me things aren't going to go well. Like there's so it varies. And I don't know how my body knows it, but yeah, it knows it because usually it's pretty right.
Can you tell when you're looking if there's something wrong with the car, and are you discussing that with Mike after the race?
Yeah, like so I videotape everything. So every time he's out there, I'm solely focused on him. So yeah, like I can tell if he's getting squirrely in the corners. I can tell as soon as he comes off the gas. I can tell if he's braking too early or coming off before the corner. So yeah, there are times where like I'll go to the pits and I usually give him a minute to talk. Like usually Jamie and him kind of meet first and kind of discuss what would happen. And then I'll usually go and I'll show him the video. And then when he's watching the video back, we kind of just have a quick little chat about it and carry on.
So Matt Nichols had a couple of questions for you, Sandra.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel to be such a recognizable and predominant voice within the mini stock community?
It's funny because I really I don't think of myself as that. Like I just think like my
I
biggest
think
thing
we do now.
my biggest thing with all of this was to recognize all of the guys and all of their hard work and stuff. So I like that people recognize me because they recognize them, if that makes sense. Like
As a videographer, I totally agree because I had to learn everybody's name and who they are, especially when Tim and Jim are calling the names out and I have to point the camera in the right direction. And I'm so worried about learning everybody's name and who they are.
Yeah.
And now, like, it gets easier over time, but and then people talking to you after the fact. So I totally can understand where you're coming from with that.
Yeah.
Let's move along here. Oh, this is pretty funny. Your son Lucas sent me some questions.
Of course he did.
How do you manage Mike's complaining on race day?
Oh, Mike's pretty good at not complaining.
Before or after the race?
Both really. Like,
I think it was a kind of a joking question.
yeah,
but
I was gonna say,
I
like,
thought I'd
yeah,
ask it anyway.
Yeah, no, Mike's pretty good at the drive home. We manage it for sure. Usually we stop at McDonald's and we eat, and then we all feel better. We'll just leave it at that.
Unless we win, then we go to Chuck's.
Yeah. So yeah, the nights that we win, we go to Chuck's in Brockville. The nights that we don't, we go to McDonald's in Carlton Place.
Nancy Seguin sent in some questions. How do you mentally prepare for a race or a major interview?
I don't do major.
You just send it? Do you think about it?
Well, do you want to answer how do you mentally prepare for a race, and I'll do the interview?
Like I said, It's gotten a lot better. I used to like panic and sweat and like just something, like I've said this before, but like I'm sitting in line, I'm like, why am I doing this? I could just be watching and relaxing and eating a hot dog, and you know what I mean? Like I don't have to be out here. Like, and then but now it's changed, and I'm excited to go out there. I know that I'm not gonna get hurt. The car is safe. The car might get hurt, but I'll be all right. And yeah, I just want to get out there and drive the car, but I have people there with me too to help. This year I was going out the track and Pierre said something to me. He's like, "Don't worry about nothing, just drive the car." And like having him there to, like, if something does go wrong with the car, he's there to help me. It helps me a lot. Just, all right, I'll drive it. These guys can help me fix it.
I had this question from a number of people. Everybody wants a funny story about something that happened at the track. Do you guys have any funny stories race day? Put you on the spot here.
There's been some funny things happen, and like some not
radio friendly things.
Yeah, some not so funny things. Some of the things I actually look forward to is like when Sandra does those little interview, the pit interviews. I can't wait to see what Matt Bull's gonna say. I used to think I was a pretty like what's the word I'm looking for here? Like witty and like stuff, like some of the stuff he answers to her questions. I'm like, there's no way he didn't know this was coming. Like this question was coming. Like he has some pretty funny stuff. All the guys do, but Matt Bull, he's particularly funny for interview questions and answers. You have any funny stories?
Funny wise, it's hard because it's like it can be such like a serious like time in the pits, or like it's fun, but like I always like, and I said to Mike, I think it was last night, we were talking about when Matt and Jamie came in contact on the track, and what broke on Jamie's car?
Like the rear control arm or something.
Yeah, so like he ended up like driving sideways, so he's driving around the pits, but like his car's coming sideways, and there's been like so many videos and memes made of poor Jamie's car. I shouldn't swear on my own podcast. Yeah. But yeah, like it wasn't funny at the time. Looking back now and watching the videos, like
there's a lot of things that like, oh, like not funny. Jamie's night got ruined, but like now it's funny.
Yeah. So.
So a couple of quick rapid fire things. Don't think too much, think too hard when you answer these, but try to answer at the same time if you could, the both of you.
Okay.
You know you're ready?
Yep.
Ready to do this?
Yeah.
Okay. Who takes longer to get ready for race night?
Mike.
What?
You're supposed to answer the same time as me. Fail.
I guess.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm ready for the next one.
Okay, another one. Who's more likely to forget something important?
Me.
Yeah. However, I did forget the transponder one time.
Yeah. Luckily my dad was coming. He swung by the house and brought it.
Who's the most nervous before an interview?
I'd say me.
for it. Well, yeah, because she does a lot more of it than I do, and like it's kind of funny. Like when we're walking, especially when it's like a night that the mini stocks aren't there, and it's just the sportsman guys. I'll go like point out which ones are sportsmen, not modifieds, and like, okay, there's one. She's like, well, what do I say? I'm like, just go. I'm like, also, I think that they're a little more receptive to like a girl walking up to the pits, and like if I just like strolled through, like, what's this guy doing, or like checking out our shit or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're not as like intimidated if she or someone goes up.
So, who can go the longest without talking about racing?
Oh, me,
Her.
100%. He like if he goes 5 minutes, like I'm impressed some days. It's crazy.
Favorite track besides Brockville?
Mohawk.
Mohawk's good. I really like Oswego too. It's an asphalt track, but it's more just I think I might like it too, just because tradition me and my dad have been doing since I was little, so I like that.
Any good race night food? I know you guys bring snacks, but what do you guys prefer to bring?
These guys have been making hot dogs lately, and it's
We're not supposed to say.
yeah, but I don't eat them, but they smell awfully good.
Yeah, we do. Every once in a while, we'll sneak a barbecued hot dog.
You got one word to describe the Brockville racing community?
Not to quote Dom Toretto, but family.
Yeah, I'd say welcoming. They yeah. I find it very welcoming to new people.
Yeah, for sure.
Some generic questions just about the future of the podcast for you guys. What do you got in mind for the future? Any plans, any changes? What does it look like?
I think we're gonna kind of just keep doing what we're doing. I would kind of like to do like a mid-season like group session with the Brockville guys, especially like whether it be the top 5 guys that come on, or if I just kind of reach out to a group of them and say like, hey, who wants to come on and talk about kind of how the season's going? That would be really cool.
To me, like I just like whatever people like that listen to it, whatever they want. Like if something like if I get a message, but you guys should talk about this, like sure. Like the more feedback we get, the better. Like obviously, like I said, we just do this for fun, and like even if a couple people listen, like that's fine. But it, like I said, if anyone wants to hear anything discussed, or anyone on here, or something you want to do different, or like a segment or whatever you want to call it, like just message me or her. Like we're open for it. We're not super creative with this, so if anyone wants to suggest
for
something.
your racing program, Mike, and the podcast, Sandra, is there anybody you guys would like to thank?
You might as well start because I got a list of
When it comes to the podcast, yeah, like any sponsors that we've had on for sure. Curtis Lindsay is probably our number one sponsor that sponsors us the most. I do need to thank Mike for having my the patience that he has with me and just kind of lets me do this. And like for the most part, like I said, he walks in from work and it's set and ready to go. So he always just kind of jumps in. All of our guests for sure. Jamie's been on it a couple different times. Martine's been on it a couple different times. So everybody that I message that welcomes them coming on, that deals with my annoyance, I want to thank all of them because they make it for sure.
Yeah, as far as
the
car goes, like this, like I mean, we may have to cut this down or something, but like I said, like number one this year, like Richard and Pierre, those two guys have like I've been out with them working on the car 2:30 in the morning. Like they've gone above and beyond for me, and like they don't owe me nothing, so they're just doing it because they're good guys and want to help. And like I said, can't thank those guys enough. I've got so many guys too I message and just talk to, like guys that have owned the car before me. Brandon, James Clark, I've been talking to him last little bit, more about like driving than anything, because everyone always tells me James is the GOAT out there. So any tips I can pick up from that guy are good. Like I said, Herb's Towing, my car's been there way too much, so appreciate them allowing me to do that. Little shop down the street, they do all my tires. Like if I need like I went through, I was hard on tires there a couple weeks ago, and they do like mount and like get them all prepped, or not prepped, but they mount all my rims and tires for me. they're awesome. Jamie, of course, always helped me with like ideas and stuff, and like riding me about getting stuff done. I don't know. Like, there's so many people, like my dad, my uncle Dave, like so many people that'll like help. Even like if I need to go to Montreal to pick up a part, they'll all come with you. Casey Kavanaugh, Colton. I don't know. I could go on for days. People that help me. So everyone that does, like it really means a lot. And I don't believe me. None of it's taken for granted at all, because I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a fabricator. I'm barely a driver. So I thank you everyone so much.
So now that you guys experienced the other side of the microphone, was being interviewed easier or harder?
I think I have a little bit of advantage because I can just turn it to her if I'm stumped. But it was good. Like, you did a really good job of this, and like I said, this is just like a fun thing we do, and like if anyone gets a kick out of it all, that's like really cool to us, and we appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, anything you ever want to hear or talk about, or get two guys on here, like maybe that don't see eye to eye, and have them hash it out on here so everyone can listen. I think that'd be kind of cool, as long as it's not me pissing people off. But I think it'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I like the back of my knees were sweating at one point. Like, this is like different over here for sure. And I think too, because I just don't know what's coming next. Like, usually when I'm on this end of it, it's like, I know exactly what I'm asking next, and I am in control. This one was like, I really don't know what to expect, but it was fun. It's nice to talk about the behind the scenes, because I don't think a lot of people realize how much work, and like you would know for sure from the videos at Brockville, like it's hours, and it doesn't just happen instantly. So
I think too, we should probably do like a real quick thank you to Paul and Cheryl for letting us do what we're doing now with the interviews and riding. Like, I did a little ride around in the pace truck making videos, and they seem to trust us a little bit with the weird things we suggest.
Yeah, no, they I can't say enough great things about Cheryl. She has been awesome. Mike jokes that she's my second mom now.
It's funny because Sandra's real mom's name is Cheryl too.
Yeah, so it's Cheryl 1 and Cheryl 2. So yeah, I genuinely can't thank Cheryl and Paul enough. They've been great. They have handed over this lovely banner that's in behind us as well. So a huge shout out to both of them.
Yeah, they also give Lucas and I a wonderful seat every night that we go to the Speedway every weekend. So I also want to thank you, Sandra and Mike, for letting me take over your show and put both of you in the hot seat. So that was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Like, when you mentioned this, I said, you know what? Like, why not? Because I find Mike gets some questions here and there throughout our podcast, but it's like I say, it's in behind the scenes that people sometimes want to know, or like I said to you, like they probably don't realize that we've been together as long as we've been, and he's the big Felix fan. I'm actually just the second one here. So just the little things like that people will now know.
Yeah.
This has been Talk Dirt to Me.
Thank you, David. We really appreciate it.
They all dissing me, why? Cause I'm the golden boy. These records too damn shiny, so go put your sunglasses on. This old motherfucker was rapping before I was born, and you still ain't beating nothing except skeleton of a dead horse. If I'm a bitch, I'm Snow White and done stomped out like 7 dwarfs. I got them blue jeans, baby, run the village like I'm Papa Smurf. Scary ass cracker, you scared to go first, cause it takes your ass 4 years to write a 12-bar verse. I give a 12-bar curse to rip to get